Hey guys, J.R. Raymond back again, coming to you from my office. We're actually going to do an awful lot of videos from this office talking about the mental game. And today, specifically for the mental game, I want to dive into what it takes to be patient when we're bowling. So stay tuned. So when I'm talking about patience, I'm not talking about, looking at your wife and saying, babe, will you please go pick up the kids today? And she says no, and you get mad because you have no patience. That's not the same type of patience that I'm talking about. When I'm talking about patience, I'm talking about being out on the lanes and seeing scores and seeing everybody shooting 240 or 250, and then you going out looking for that same type of ball reaction instead of just grinding, making your spares, and allowing it to happen over time. A lot of times we get really impatient. We start to do a lot of things when we're looking around at scores and looking at what other people are doing. We see somebody shoot 250 and automatically we assume that everybody's shooting 250, and that's not the case. Most times when somebody shoots 250, especially in certain fields, depending on the event, a lot of times they're going to shoot 150 the next game. Now, it doesn't always happen, and you're always going to have those few people who bowl 250 every game, and they're just going to light it up for the entire day. And as much as we want to be that person, if it doesn't come to you in practice and you don't have this miracle look to shoot 250 every game, I wouldn't continue looking for it throughout the next couple of games, because otherwise you're just going to dig yourself a hole. The mistake that most bowlers make is they dig themselves a hole, and then once they relax, they shoot 150, 160 or whatever the first couple of games, then they relax a little bit and feel like, well, I'm out of it now. I got nothing to lose. I might as well just bowl. Now they finally loosen up and they bowl 250, and then they go bowl 260, and then they go bowl 260 again. Now they're going into the last game and they're only a few pins behind the cut, and they tense back up and they bowl 180. It's just that mentality of constantly looking for that 260. If we go into the event and we're just thinking, okay, all I need to do is just grind, stay as clean as possible, shoot 190, shoot 200. Don't shoot yourself in the foot by looking for 250 and shooting 150. We need to be looking for just a consistent ball reaction that's going to get us to the pocket so we can make spares and make our adjustments accordingly based on the scoring pace then. Now, I don't always suggest to look at scores, because looking at scores generally for most people will get your anxiety level up. If you see the scores are high, now all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, I just shot 2-0, everybody's averaging 250, I need to go find a 250 ball reaction. I don't want people to do that. What I want people to do is just sit and focus and not look at the scores until maybe halfway through the block to see where you're at. If you're bowling 2-0, 210, and you're only a few pins behind the number, well, then you don't need to be going to look for 250. But if you go look first game, which is always where the high scores come from, you go look at the first game scores and you see that 10 people had 250 or better, well, that doesn't mean you need to go look for 250, because a lot of times those scores are going to come down a little bit. So what I mean by patience is just taking what's given to you. You don't need to change balls 13 times in the game because your ball isn't striking. What you need to do is you need to be patient, just make shots, make your spares, and make good guesses. And I say guesses because that's all bowling is really just making a guess. Now, they're educated guesses, but they're not dead perfect, knowing exactly what to do all the time. Even the best in the world don't know exactly what to do after every single shot. They're all just educated guesses, because we can't really see what's actually going on. We could be moving into a dry part of the lane. We could be moving into a slicker part of the lane. We just don't for sure know. So being patient means taking what's given to you, and then when you get to a pair where you see your ball reaction's gotten that much better, you take advantage of that pair and you bowl a better game, and you bowl that 250 on that pair, and you take what the lanes give you. So you're always playing against the lanes. If we're constantly going out fishing for fishing for higher scores, we're always going to shoot ourselves in the foot. So, for example, a lot of the times when I go bowl PBA events, the mindset's different there, because it's going to take 220 or 230 a game to make those cuts most times. So you are at least looking for that. And what I get myself caught into is I'll go and bowl, I'll bowl 210, I'll bowl 2-0, I'll bowl 190, I'll go bowl 210, and look at the scores and notice I'm 40, 50 pins behind the number. and then I'm looking to try to get into that number right away. So now I start out the next game and I go like 9 spare, strike, 9 spare, all in the pocket 9 spares. And now I'm like, well, this isn't going to do me any good. I need to start looking for a ball reaction that's going to shoot 230 or 240 so I can catch up. So then you start changing balls, and then all of a sudden you make a few bad shots, and now those balls changes turn into splits. And all of a sudden, instead of shooting the 210 or the 220 that you were shooting, now you're shooting 180 or 170 because you went fishing for better ball reaction. So we have to wait until we can see the moment, see the time when it's the right time to try to make those changes, rather than try to just make those changes because we're fishing for these big numbers. Now, I know many of you who are watching this video have done the same thing, and you've gone looking for these big scores, and then come to find out you miss a cut by 10 or 20 pins because you gave away a bunch of pins just by going and changing balls or making this move, all these unnecessary changes that you don't need to make. So I'm not saying to not make changes. I'm just saying to be patient, keep yourself in grind mode all the time until you get to a point where you know you have good ball reaction. Then you can loosen up and just go get it. Okay, so I hope this helps you to, the next time you go and bowl a tournament, you can sit there and say, okay, I'm just going to make good shots. I'm going to make my spares. I'm going to take what's given to me, and I'm going to make the best educated guess throughout. I'm not going to make some off the wall guess to try to create these big scores that maybe aren't there. So go out to your next event, put grind mode on, make your spares, and see what it does for you. Until next time, guys, make sure to sign up for the Mug Club. The link's in the description below. We're going to do a Mug Club every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Anybody who is a part of the Mug Club will get your very own mug, like this one here, and you will be able to join into every podcast where we are going to give away chances. We're going to be giving away prizes throughout every podcast. In just about every podcast, we're going to give away a free bowling ball as well. So all these podcasts are going to be talked about everything you can think of inside of bowling. If you have questions on any of the videos, you have the opportunity to come on live and ask those questions to where we can discuss some of the issues that people may be having, like increasing rev rate, increasing ball speed, all that stuff, on top of talking about all the news inside of bowling as well. So hit the link in the description below and go sign up for the Mug Club. And until next time, guys, we will see you later.